for an hour-long break. At the top of the scoreboard, things remain mostly unchanged, the Sting having been taken out of the event on stage 1. For Sarah van der Merwe, South Africa's most decorated motorsportsman, the demand from autograph hunters continues. Sarah seems as casual about this as the event itself.
Well, it's pretty uneventful. It's been fairly rough in places, but we haven't had any problems. And Serge is running away like I expected, so the surprise was all the drama in the first stage, but now I think it's basically all over by the shouting.
The shouting is certainly not coming from the lips of Serge Damso, who it seems can control the pace of the rally at will. Serge and Vita have won all 5 stages run and have secured a 1-minute 35-second lead over Swartland France. Ralph Chadwick and Alan Castley have amazed even themselves in securing 4th place overall, ahead of all the Class C competition. We spoke to Serge while his technicians set about inspecting the Conquest gearbox.
We got a bit of noise in the gearbox, we're just making sure to see what's wrong with it. Whilst further, everything else seems to be going very well.
Now, you've lost your teammate Enzo early in the rally. Has that changed your plans? Are you backing off, or did you need him to help you in any way?
Not really. I mean, keeping the same speed, the same pace. Maybe towards the end of the event we'll go slower, but at the moment we're still keeping going.
This program is brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, sure fire from start to finish. The rally moves north of Mariesburg to the area around Koninberg for stages 6 and 7. Serge continues on his winning way, notching up a winning time of 14 minutes and 3 seconds over this long 25-kilometer stage. The Conquest has yet to miss a beat, and in the very capable hands of Serge Damso, the team has yet to lose a stage. The Muggies continue to have a strange effect on the spectators. Lying second both on the road and on the scoreboard, Sarah van der Merwe and Frans Boshoff continue unthreatened from behind, but unable to penetrate the flying Toyota ahead of them. Over 2 minutes separate the Ford from the Miranda Golf, now holding on to a comfortable 3rd place. The pace being set by Chadwick keeps the Class D Golf ahead of the remaining field, but the little car starts to feel the effect of all this hard work, and the faults start creeping in. Outer Sky and Bissett still lead Class C by a slender 25 seconds over Etienne Lawrence and Robert Paisley. Catonians Marudka and Peltz 13th overall and 6th in the Class C battle. 7th overall and 2nd in Class D, but still looking strong, are Chart van der Walte and Jacob van der Linde, on course for yet another finish and more championship points. Keeping their Toyota ship-shape has cost Lawrence and Paisley extra service time and has pushed the pair down in the running order. Kobus Robler and Mike Gillum in their Class D Fiat Uno panel van. From the Eastern Cape, Keith Coleman and Irma Kurzer, currently 8th overall and 3rd in Class C. Skalk and Sue Berger slowly working their way back up the scoreboard after a disastrous stage 1. Ralph Chadwick arrives at the service area in his Golf with both front tyres flat, but still managing a very competitive time of 15 minutes and 30 seconds, just 6 seconds slower than Miranda in the Class A 4-wheel drive Golf.
I don't know how we got 2 punctures and we didn't even hit anything.
Swartland France begin stage 7, their mission to finish the NGK Rally in 2nd place. The 19 championship points at stake would still keep the fight alive if the Ford and Toyota finish in their current positions. Serge, by his own admission, makes less mistakes when the pace is hot. Over 2 minutes separates first from second place. Reluctant to ease back on the throttle, Serge has turned the entire Toyota team, including daughter Samantha and wife Bev, into anxious observers. A flat tyre on the Conquest would swap the placings on the score chart. Sorrel shows no mercy. Third place remains in the hands of Alessio Miranda and Tony Villaka-Thomas. Their only threat, that of the incredible Ralph Chadwick and Alan Castley, still hanging on to fourth position and leading both Class C and D. On to Stage 8, where Serge and Vito continue to dominate the rally and set the pace, the hometown boys enjoying all the support of the hundreds of local spectators who dash from point to point to cheer them on. Their eventual stage time winning them 8 out of 8. Chadwick's luck turns when on stage 8 and 9, the Durban crew lose an accumulative 11 minutes as the Golf starts to self-destruct. The rally turns south down the N7 to stage 10, a street section through the CBD of Malmesbury. Alessio Miranda enters the stage first and almost takes a shortcut, and all the bunting tape with him. While the crowd enjoy the entertainment, the best is yet to come. Sorrel bursts into view and throws the laser around at will. He and France set a time of 1 minute and 2 seconds, 16 seconds faster than Miranda. Having lost stage 9 to Sorrel and France, Serge attacks stage 10 as if the rally result was at stake. If nothing else, his efforts give the crowd an eyeful of absolute car control and a winning time of just 1 second faster than Sorrel. The smaller Class C cars then enter the stage at an obviously slower pace compared to their big Class A brothers. Lawrence and Paisley post a time of 1 minute and 9 seconds. Keith Coleman, together with lady navigator Irma Kurzer. Another local Class D entry with Mark Johnson at the wheel and Francois Pretorius on the maps. Having taken the Class D lead from Chadwick on the previous stage, Chart van der Walt and Jacob van der Linde have the chance of yet another class win. On the penultimate stage 11, a short 8.6 kilometre section on the way to the finish at the Killarney racetrack, Serge launches the Conquest a little too high, almost ending their rally and their hard day's work. The tricky 8-kilometre stage on and around the Killarney racetrack has Tony Villaka-Thomas scratching his head as he sends Eliso on a wild goose chase. Being the first into the stage doesn't help, and even more so when the next car joins in the action with you. The wise old duo of Van der Merwe and Boshoff make no mistakes, blasting the laser around the circuit with all the muscle they can muster. Losing more and more time with every wrong turn, the Golf not only stands to lose a place, but becomes a wandering obstacle to other competitors. With Eliseo and Tony expected to be out of the stage, the marshal sent Serge in. With his odometer now badly overreading, Tony can hardly make head or tail of the instructions in front of him. Eliseo wisely gives way to the flying Van der Merwe. As Serge starts his circuits, Sarel exits the complex on his way to a winning time of 4 minutes and 27 seconds. The talents of South Africa's two best drivers have to be admired as man and machine work as one in total control through the sweeps and bends. The winner's wreaths, appropriately made from heads of wheat, are graciously accepted by Serge and Vito, both only too aware of the many years this moment had eluded them. 5 victories out of 7 events for Serge Damso and Vito Bonafide, leaving the total international rally to be the championship decider. The final finishing order remains largely unchanged, with Eliseo and Tony keeping 3rd position despite a full minute and a half lost on the final stage. There were no Class B finishers. Altersky and Bissett won Class C ahead of Lawrence and Paisley, while Van der Walt and Van der Linde again clinched Class D. The 1993 NGK Rally was proudly brought to you by NGK Spark Plugs, sure fire from start to finish.